Fat people hate. There's always one of these threads in 4chan, like similar to how there's always a fraud thread. Oh my god, a fraud thread. There's also always a CBT thread, current body thread, and then there's always a fat person hate thread. This is one of the reasons why I appreciate 4chan, and the same reason is why so many people hate 4chan, is because it's uncensored. It's anti-snowflake. Like, oh my god, a thread devoted to hating fat people? Bigot, you're fatphobic. You're gonna go to hell. I'm gonna go to hell because I want people to be healthy? Really? Because I don't entertain their fantasy that they can be healthy at any weight? That's why I'm going to hell? Because I'm trying to save these people from eating themselves to death? Sorry, I think you got it backwards. Whoever you are that's encouraging and saying that there's nothing wrong with being fat, you're the one actively hurting people. The sleep one. You want me to hit this sleep one? I sleep 10 hours a day, every day, and still feel tired, lethargic all the time. Is it low T? It's fun. Before I even got to the second line where he asked, is it low T? I was already thinking, dude, this guy sleeps 10 hours a day. He's still tired. He might have low testosterone. That's a red flag. Classic signal of low testosterone. Honestly, you only need 8 hours of sleep. Most people know that. And so if you're sitting there overachieving with 10 hours consistently most days of the week, and you still can't have reasonable energy levels, there's something going on with your hormones, aka your testosterone. I would not be surprised if this individual probably has some feelings of depression and anxiety as well. And they probably think that's because, it's because I'm not rested. That's why I feel depressed. That's why I feel low energy, because I'm not rested. Well, you really need to get down to the root cause, because if you have low T, that causes both depression and lethargy. So this individual needs to go to an endocrinologist. They'll take his blood work. They'll test what his testosterone and free testosterone levels are, and they'll go from there. And if anything, he can find out, maybe I can rule that out and I need to actually go to a sleep clinic and figure out, do I have like sleep apnea or some crazy shit going on to where the rest that I think I'm getting is not actually quality rest. But yeah, first and foremost, if you can check off, yes, I am getting 8 hours of sleep every night, but I still feel tired, then you need to go get your hormones checked. What do we have here? Nothing special there. Wow. Scooby. This is an OG fitness guy. I mean, when I was browsing the fitness board 7 years ago, in my first year, trying to get my start, trying to learn what works and what doesn't, from guys just like me, who had been doing it longer than me, Scooby, this guy right here, had a YouTube channel that was really based, that, told you what was bullshit and what wasn't. He was an old guy with gray hair, bald, pretty damn muscular. Looks like he renamed his channel Gray and Fit. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so he's over 50 at this point. Back then he was in his 40s. But he always had good advice about just some of the beginner stuff, like how do I get enough protein? Should I do push-pull legs or should I do a bro split? Do I need to do cardio? Do I need to do abs? All those questions that after you've been lifting a while, you kind of forget that you ever even had to ask that stuff. But, look, people got to get started somewhere. What do we have? I drink 3 cans a day, and I've yet to come across a single convincing reason why I shouldn't. Coke Zero. I'm with you, brother. Artificial sweeteners aren't that bad, and that comes from more than just my fitness 8 years. I switched to diet sodas before that, in my early 20s, so well over 10 years worth of drinking multiple artificially sweetened beverages per day, whether that's a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero or a Rockstar Zero, or pre-workouts are artificially sweetened. I've had multiple artificially sweetened beverages every day of my life for 10 plus years. And I get my blood work checked regularly as part of my testosterone therapy. And never once have I been told to lay off on the artificial sweeteners for any reason. So you're fine. The only thing with artificial sweeteners is that they can become psychologically addictive. And obviously, if they're caffeinated, they're biologically, chemically addictive. But, what's happening here? You're addicted to a 0-calorie drink. Okay, it's not healthy to be addicted to anything. So obviously that's true. But when it comes to the spectrum of damage that's done through being addicted to things, being addicted to Coke Zero and having 3 of those a day, if you're addicted to that as an alternative to being addicted to, for example, real Coca-Cola Classic, coming in at 140 calories per can, if you're having 3 of those a day, you're having 500 calories almost of no nutrients, pure corn syrup, 0 grams of protein. And that's actually why most people are significantly out of shape. The obesity crisis largely came from sugary beverages and sugary snacks as well. But this is a funny anecdote I'll tell you guys about just how the times have changed in America in one generation. My dad told me that when he was a kid, he would go to his grandmother's house, and it's like a big deal. One night a week, she would cook up all this good food, all this good Southern food, and they would get out those glass bottles of Coca-Cola, the OG glass bottle of Coca-Cola, and he would have a Coke, 1 per week. And it was like a big celebration. It's like a big treat. It's kind of like the example nowadays of maybe people's Friday happy hour. I mean, the truth is, shitty, lazy Americans tend to have happy hour multiple times a week now. But the point is, it was a very rare treat. Like once a week kind of thing. You get 1 soda pop. 1 sugary soda pop per week. And he loved it. And it made you cherish it and look forward to it, etc. And now, any restaurant you go into where you just go and get a meal, whether it's Chinese food or go get a slice of pizza or you go to KFC or McDonald's or anywhere, any meal you go and get in a restaurant or fast food place, what is the expectation? Like, without you even having to ask, it comes with a soda. People have become accustomed to having a soda with basically every meal that they eat. They go out to lunch during their workday to Subway or wherever, and they get a soda with that. And then they go home and they sit at their video game desk and they sit there and sip soda with that. And then when they have dinner, they have soda with that. And if it's not a diet soda, then they're sitting there consuming 500 calories of, like I said, corn syrup or just tablespoons of sugar every single day of their life. And I know this because I was one of those people. So I'm not sitting here smashing other people's behaviors to death and being judgmental. I'm saying learn from what I went through, and it's real. It really does matter. Diet water is next. They already have diet water, bro. That fucking, what do they call that? Vita something? 50 Cent, the rapper, owns that brand, like Vita Water or some shit like that. They just sell water with added ingredients to it, like branch chain amino acids, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, whatever. They'll add electrolytes and B vitamins, and all that stuff, and then they'll market it as like enhanced water. Like, really? Pretty funny.